Yeah.
You got a line. He goes, big man, listen, stop getting hit with dumb shit. Yeah. So you gonna piss me off, man. And you know, that's what he says.
I hate when fighters get hit with dumb shit. I tell them, fuck the dumb shit, cut the bullshit and fuck the dumb shit. You get me?
There's a rule in the 48 laws of power where you play a sheep to catch a wolf. And I feel like that's what Dillian Whyte's doing. If he is, if he's not, it doesn't matter because I'm gonna bring the heat side in.
You know, there's an old saying: you get the guy drunk before you mug him. So we gotta slow him down somehow. You know, we're gonna hit him on the hips, thighs, kneecaps, wherever we can hit him to slow him down. Once we slow him down, then we.
Things got wild when Moses Itauma and Dillian Whyte met at their press talk. Moses teased Whyte, telling him to take off his glasses and show if he is a wolf or just a sheep. YT fired back right away. But when fight night comes, words won't help him. Moses is ready to finish it quick and brutal.
You and him exchanged some words. I think you started the conversation. What were you saying to him?
I didn't start no conversation, bro. Don't make me out to be the bad man, bro. He started talking to me, bro, and I just said, yo, relax. I said, relax, dog. Saturday we'll get on. I didn't start nothing, bro.
What was said between the two of you?
Fuck all.
Yeah.
Fuck all and fuck nothing.
But he said Moses might struggle in deep waters, but that sounds more like praise. Moses is young, strong, and still dangerous, even in the last round. Whyte may think taking him long will help, but with Moses it's the opposite. Deep waters are not safe. They turn into a storm, and in that storm, Moses is the hunter, not the hunted.
Yeah, he's got to go to the deep waters. You know, man, unless somebody slips up and get caught early. But, you know, we gotta get him into the deep waters. That's the key.
When even your dad says he didn't expect you to rise this fast, you know you're different. In just 2 years, Moses is already ranked #1 by the WBO. His Nigerian toughness mixed with pure talent makes him a big problem for older fighters like Whyte. This isn't just talk. It feels like we're watching his destiny play out right in front of us.
But no one knew he was going to move through the ranks. 2 years as a pro, WBO #1. Did you even expect that?
I never expected that. But I knew that he has the ingredients, he has the material as a typical Nigerian.
This press conference clip tells the whole story. YT tried to stay calm, but when Moses asked if he was a wolf or a sheep, it shook him. His cool act disappeared fast, and he started yelling about taking out Moses's whole team. That quick change showed who was really in control, and it wasn't YT.
Tell us about the back and forth that we've just seen.
Yeah, nothing. He's young, innit? He's starting to get a bit nervous, get a bit hyped up, and he's trying to draw me out. I'm just like, yo, relax, bro. Relax. You're not a bad man. The bad man thing is not for you. I'm not trying to go down that lane, but if you want to, then cool. I'm trying to be cool and respectful. But he's like, yeah, you know, I want to see if you're a wolf or a sheep. I say, bro, take it easy, bro. You don't want me to while I'll f all of his team up. I don't care. And if you up, then everyone's at risk, not only him. I'll be.
Ben Davis spoke calmly, but his words carried a big truth. We all saw at the press conference. Moses showed the calm and confidence of someone much older. When YT tried to push him, Moses didn't move. Instead, he fired back with the wolf or sheep line that shook YT. When Ben called him a once-in-a-generation talent, it wasn't just a nice comment. He meant it. Moses' belief in himself is real because it's built on skill, discipline, and smart fighting that even experienced boxers can't handle. That press conference wasn't only about shouting, it showed who was stronger in the mind. YT reacted with anger. Moses stayed cool, smiling, speaking steady, and locking eyes. That's why Ben is so sure. Moses isn't just a kid trying to prove something. He's already showing he belongs at the top.
I don't think Moses needs to catch anybody at a certain point in their career or anything like that.
Why is that?
Because I think he's good enough. I think he's plenty good enough. I think he's a generational talent, and I think it's going to take time for everybody to see that. But I think everybody can see that he has the potential.
Moses made it clear he's not here for the noise, he's here for the knockout. If you watched the press conference and then saw this clip, it would fit perfectly. While Whyte was barking threats, Moses stayed focused. When he said, "I'm not paying attention to the noise," it wasn't just a line, it showed real control. In that face-off, Moses didn't yell back. He answered with calm strength, a steady stare, and words that hit harder than shouting. His confidence feels different because it comes from training, not from putting on a show. The press conference wasn't about who could talk louder, it was about who could stay in control, and Moses walked away on top. That's dangerous for Whyte, because a fighter who stays cool under the bright lights is usually the same one who stays strong in the ring. Moses doesn't just talk about his job, he lives it, and that's why he's so hard to break.
I'm not really paying attention to main events. I'm not really paying attention to people talking, the noise and whatnot. I'm just going in there and doing my job.
Even Derek Chisora sees that this fight is more dangerous than people think. He called Moses a young lion, and that's exactly what we saw at the press conference. Moses didn't just sit at the table, he was sharp, watching, ready to strike at any weakness. Whyte's sunglasses, his angry words, and his sudden outbursts all showed that the young lion had already gotten inside his head. Chisora joked that somebody's going to jail, and while that's classic Chisora talk, it showed just how much raw fire was in that room. If Whyte steps into the ring with that same hot temper, he's going to slip up. And against someone like Moses, calm, smart, and dangerous, mistakes don't just cost points, they bring punishment. The press conference proved one clear thing: Moses isn't there to share the spotlight, he's there to take it, and he'll do it with the cold focus of a real lion.
He's got a big task ahead of him, you know, on Saturday. So he has to deliver. You know, he's fighting a young lion, a young buck. You know, so we'll see what happens, or somebody's gonna go to jail.
Shannon Briggs has seen enough fight weeks to know when the energy feels different, and the press conference between Moses and Whyte was electric. Being young and strong isn't only about muscles, it's about the fearless way. Moses sat across from Whyte, never shaken by the threats, never moved by the games. Shannon's right, Whyte isn't easy to beat, but the face-off showed something big. Moses isn't scared at all. The way he stared him down, the way he stayed calm while Whyte's voice got louder and angrier, proved his mental toughness. That's the crack Shannon is talking about, not just breaking a man with punches, but breaking his confidence before the fight even starts. At that press conference, Moses showed he's not just here to fight, he's here to dominate, from the first stare down to the final punch.
He's strong. We're going to see if he can beat Dillian Whyte, though. Dillian Whyte ain't no pushover. And I think Dillian going to know that, you know what I'm saying? We're going to find out if he can really crack like they say he is. But I'm hearing things that he's been dropped in the ring, in the gym and stuff like that. But that's okay, too, because I took a couple spills, you know, little slips in the ring and the gym. That's okay, but we're going to see.
This was Moses's knockout statement. Bold, direct, and packed with the same confidence we saw at the press conference, when he told Whyte to take off the glasses and find out if he's a wolf or a sheep. That was psychological warfare. And now, in this clip, Moses takes that same mental edge and turns it into a prediction. First or second round knockout. You don't throw out words like that against a veteran unless you truly believe it. And Moses does. What makes it even scarier is the way he says it. Calm, steady, no yelling for the cameras. Just a fact in his mind, backed by the composure he showed earlier in the week. The press conference was the mental victory. This moment is the physical promise. Whyte's aggression may have grabbed headlines, but Moses's measured confidence has been the real story all week. And if he delivers on this prediction, the build-up won't just look like hype, it'll look like prophecy.
If you can get guys out in the first and second round, then why not? Like, if anyone was to see how I train in camp, like for this fight, I've done one 6-rounder. 2 6-rounders, 2 8-rounds, and the rest have been 10s.
Eddie Hearn's praise might sound polite on the surface, but if you watch that press conference, you know exactly why he rates Moses so highly. It's not just about his amateur pedigree, it's about how he carried himself under the bright lights and verbal fire. Whyte came swinging with words, but Moses never gave him an inch. Instead, he fired back with sharp, subtle lines, like the wolf or sheep comment that sent Whyte into emotional overdrive. Eddie's been around too many fight weeks not to recognize what that means. Composure under pressure, that's often the razor's edge between victory and defeat. And that's why his one for the future line feels less like a prediction and more like a warning. Moses isn't just next, he's now. That press conference didn't just highlight his talent, it proved he can own the room, control the narrative, and make a veteran crack without even raising his voice. For a promoter, that's gold. It means the hype doesn't have to be manufactured. Moses brings it naturally, and Eddie knows it. This isn't just another fight. This could be the launch of a new heavyweight star.
I think if they keep winning, yeah. I mean, look, Moses is an exceptional talent. You know, he's been in the game a long time. He's got a very, long-standing amateur record and pedigree.
And some fighters believe Moses is set to make that star-making statement early. Frazer Clarke's words echo exactly what we all felt during that press conference. This fight feels destined to explode from the opening bell. Moses didn't step into that media event just to share a stage. He walked in to dominate the atmosphere. While Whyte tried to belittle him, Moses sat there with that cold, steady gaze, firing back with verbal shots that cut deeper than expected. Frazer's man for the occasion comment hits the nail on the head because that press conference was the perfect showcase of a fighter who thrives under pressure. His confidence wasn't reckless, it was measured, and it was enough to shake YT into emotional territory, the exact crack Frazer was pointing out. So when he talks about Moses making a statement, it's easy to imagine that wolf or sheep jab being followed by a devastating early finish. In boxing, momentum doesn't start at the first bell. It starts the moment the spotlight hits, and right now, all of it belongs to Moses.
I don't know Moses personally, I've spoken to him a few times, but I think he's definitely a man for the occasion. And I do think, with him being a headliner, I hope he doesn't get too excited and not do his usual job. But I think if he wanted to make a statement, and I think he's well capable of doing that.
80's question about the later rounds is fair, but if you watch that press conference, you already know Moses' mentality isn't built around just surviving early. His aggression is controlled, his pace deliberate, his confidence unshaken. The way he dismantled Whyte verbally, never rushing, never overextending, mirrors the way he fights. Yes, his last 8 opponents didn't make it past 2 rounds, but that isn't recklessness. That's precision, clinical execution. The press conference aggression wasn't theater. It was a blueprint, a preview of how he applies pressure in the ring. So when 80 wonders about the gas tank, Moses has already answered with his demeanor. He's ready for 10 rounds if needed. That's what makes his knockout prediction so dangerous. It isn't a wild gamble. It's an early execution by design. And if, by some chance, this fight does spill into the later rounds, the same composure that rattled Whyte at the table will still be there under the lights. That's what makes Moses so hard to bet against.
I was like, you've not gone past 2 rounds in the last 8 fights. So you've just been 1 round or 2 rounds. So is the gas tank still there? Moses is known for his speed and his footwork. How does that look at round 6 or 7? Like, when you've landed on someone and they've not fallen over or bowled over, what does that look like now? And there are levels in boxing. Like, even at world level, there are like several levels within world level.
The press conference between Moses Itauma and Dillian Whyte wasn't just a media event, it was the first round of the fight. From the moment Moses hit him with the wolf or sheep line, Whyte's composure cracked. Every glare, every exchange after that felt like a battle for psychological dominance. Moses stayed icy, YT boiled over. The tension set the perfect stage for fight night. This isn't just about skill, it's about who can carry that same energy into the ring and turn words into punches. If Moses keeps that calm aggression and executes like he promised, we could see an early finish that cements his rise. But if YT can channel that rage into a disciplined assault, he has the power to shock the world. One thing's certain, this fight is personal. So, who are you backing? Moses Itauma to deliver on his promise, or Dillian Whyte to silence the hype?